Well, hey everyone, how's it going? Sean here with another video for you. And yep, we got the LS4 in. So I posted a couple of, well, I think I just posted one video the first start, right? And here I am. Just got done running it. Just to make sure there's no leaks, which I do not see a leak anywhere. That doesn't mean a leak won't form eventually, but I'm not seeing any water or liquids or fluids or anything dripping from the chassis. I've looked over this with a fine tooth comb and I don't see anything. So, my assumption, at least right now, that paper towel there is there because I had that power steering leak, which it's dry. So I put that there to see and make sure that it was in fact not leaking anymore and it's still dry. So I'm assuming that the JB Weld took care of the power steering leak. We'll have to wait and see. Um, so the motor starts and it runs. It'll run up to temperature, but it's not one of those things that I want to keep running because it needs a tune really, really bad. Okay. But at least I know that it runs. So as of now, I can start doing things like putting together the suspension, the steering. Right now it's just kind of in place, but I can put the suspension, steering, tires. I can get the tires on it, and I can get it on the ground. I still have to hook up my motor mounts. They're not, the nuts on the motor mounts are not on right now. But again, I didn't want to go through all the trouble of doing all that stuff and just to find out that it won't start or there's another problem or the engine blows up in my face. I mean, don't do any more work than you absolutely have to. So now that I know that the motor is running fine, or at least as fine as it will be without a tune, now I need to start piecing things together so that when James does get me the tuner, that's James at Jotes Performance Tuning. You can find him on Facebook. He'll send me the tuner, and I will be able to get it tuned, and then I can roll it out of the garage. That's kind of what I'm waiting on right now. So even still, I'm not going to put all the front end and everything else. I mean, this is what I did last time, and kind of got some chuckles out of people driving around the neighborhood without any front end. But the point was that, I wanted to make sure everything is working because this stuff takes time to put, obviously to put together. So you don't want to, put everything together and find out you got to take it all apart again for whatever reason. So I'm putting together only what is required to basically drive it around the block. And then when I can verify that everything's okay, I'll get my bumper on and all the other stuff. That way I can take it on the highway and stuff like that. But so as it stands right now, everything is looking good. So, there's a slight miss in it, but it's one of those things that, it's got a cam in there that the computer doesn't understand. It's not tuned for it. The computer is all out of whack, basically. It just doesn't understand the cam, and while it will run, it's not running very well, simply because the cam is in there. There's no DoD in there, so it's freaking out about not seeing the DoD solenoids, and that's what that plug is right there. That's your DoD plug, but so there's obviously some things that have to be done to get it dialed in. And if after all that I still have a problem with a miss or whatever, James will be able to find out what cylinder it is so that we can investigate. Is it a plug? Is it something else that's going on? And we'll be able to take care of it, like that. But so far, so good. I mean, it's running, and that's great. Definitely has a slightly different characteristic at idle, but it's not tuned yet, so it's going to change even more once the tune is done. And for those of you who don't know, I didn't do anything dramatic or drastic. It's a very mild cam. James even called it a baby cam. But again, as you guys know, my story is that I wasn't looking for 800 horsepower out of the gate or anything else like that. This car, this Grand Prix that I have owned since 2012, so it's been 8 years now, this is my cruiser. This is not a go getter as much as I can extract out of it anymore. Those days are gone. If I want to go for pure horsepower or something like that, I'm going to do something like get a Corvette or a G8 GXP or something else like that. I'm not going to stick with something like this. And really, my needs and desires for that absolute speed are kind of dwindling away. And I never imagined hearing myself say that. Of course, I love it, but I'm not going to invest, $10 or $15,000 on a turbo kit and all this other stuff. When in reality, I just like to be able to cruise around. There's a lot of classic cars out there, a lot of them. In fact, I just drove by. It was a '61 Ford pickup truck, green, beautiful, beautiful, slow as hell. But who cares? Because it's an enjoyable drive. I just happened to run into the guy at the post office when I was at the post office a couple of days ago, and I was like, "Hey, nice truck and whatever," and he's like, yeah, it's slow, but it goes and it's nice and I love driving it. So that's the same thing for me. I'm not looking for all that extra power. My next investment in a vehicle for transportation is going to be a Tesla. Okay, that's just the way that it is. I'm not going to go out and get a Toyota Corolla. I'm not going to go get a Corvette. I'm not going to do any of that. I am going to get a Tesla. That is my next thing. This is going to eventually become just my enjoyable kind of weekend, maybe a few days cruiser. And it's going to spend most of its time sitting in shade. That's just the way that it is. And I'll never get rid of it. I mean, there's something about it. Um, a gentleman who just subscribed to me yesterday, who I made a comment on his Cadillac because he's got an older Cadillac, that he's had for, I think, 17 years or something. He'll never get rid of that Cadillac. And I'm never going to get rid of this car. He's going to drop an LS4 into his Caddy, which was what got my attention because I just happened to be searching on YouTube for LS4 and stuff, and that kind of got my attention. And, he's got a car that most people would say, oh, why are you holding on to that? But you know what? It's the same thing. He enjoys his car. There's something about it. There's something about his Caddy that however he drives it, whatever wheels he puts on it, whatever motor he's got in it, it's his Caddy, and that's the way that it is. And he's going to hold on to it. He's going to enjoy it. And that's the great thing about cars. You don't have to listen to your neighbor or another YouTuber on what is good and bad, right or wrong, or whatever. You do what you want to do as long as it doesn't hurt anyone else, okay? All right? You drive what you want to drive. You drive what you enjoy driving. This car, when it first came out in 2005, when they first started producing them, 300 horsepower, it was peppy, but it was definitely not on the cutting edge of anything. Around the same time, we had the 400 horsepower GTO, and they were moving into things like the 420 horsepower Corvettes and stuff like that. I mean, even, non-domestic Toyota and so on, they had their own things going on. And so this car was not meant as a super fast, off-the-line, 10-second car, anything else like that. So I am not going to chase that dream of I want to make this the fastest car that'll eat Camaros and Corvettes and Mustangs for lunch. Those days are gone for me. I'm just trying to make a reliable, enjoyable cruiser that's got some power, that sounds great, that I like. Not everybody likes the V8 sound. Not everybody likes the red stripes. Not everybody likes the black car. Not everybody likes this and that and whatever. To each their own. That's the whole point. To each their own. You do what you want to do. Don't put someone else down because they are driving something that you don't like, all right? So, again, long story over, I guess. So, I am probably going to stop right here. I've been toying with ideas as far as like James was telling me that my injectors are probably going to be maxed out with the cam, and when I go the E85 route, which by the way, as long as James thinks that the injectors will handle E85, I'm definitely going E85 on this. He's going to tune it for me, as always. And, that'll be nice to have E85 on there. But I'm probably going to stop here. I might do some cosmetic things here and there. But I'm not, this is it. Really, this is it. I just wanted to get the car back on the road, and I figured if I'm going to spend the money, I can put some, what James calls a baby cam in, just to give me a little bit more character. And that's basically about it. Like I said, I might do something like an intake swap or custom fender well intake or some basic stuff like that, but nothing that's going to be dramatic. And that's it. This is going to be my enjoyable cruiser that I hold on to basically until I can't drive anymore. That's basically it. So, yeah, but anyway, I enjoy cars. I enjoy everything about them. So, while I don't like every car out there, I'm not going to knock somebody because they take pride in their cars. There are some people out there that are pretty stupid that act macho, and you so badly want to put them in their place. I mean, I've got a neighbor who has a basically bone stock Cavalier that has a tune on it, I think, and a coffee can muffler, and he drives it like it's an F1 supercar, and I'm not kidding. Now, I'm not going to knock him for being, prideful of his vehicle. Everybody should take pride in the work that they do, but to act like he can walk all over Corvettes and he likes to slow down, right in front of my house to kind of flex his coffee can a little bit as if he's going to do it. It's just, those are the kind of people that you just want to squash and put them in their place because they think they have more than they actually have. And it's annoying in a lot of ways because they become extremely aggressive. They always want to race. They're always trying to one-up you in some way. They're burning out all the time. It's ridiculous. And those are the people who cause problems. Those are the people who cause accidents and get careless and stuff like that. So, know what you own and respect those who drive something that's quite literally faster, and don't try to show off. I made those comments about driving a Dodge Caravan like you have a Ferrari. I've done that several times on this channel because some people just really, anyways, I'm gonna go on and on and on about it. But anyway, so enjoy what you drive, know what you drive, and respect everyone else on what they drive, because you don't know what kind of time or money went into it. It may look like it's falling off the road, but you don't know if that person's put in a ton of time into that car or sleeps in that car or anything else like that. You just don't know. So anyways, so I'll share you with a video here in the next couple of days. I'm gonna not really do anything with it for the next couple of days. I still have to get the gauges installed, the pillar pod. I still have to get that all installed. I got it out and got it prepped so that I can mount it there. I'm going to tie the 12 volt power source to the gauges is going to come from the sunroof fuse, because that one is only hot when the key is in the accessory. And the 12 volt lights is going to come from the shifter light because that's only going to come on when the lights are on. So, and obviously the OBD port or CAN bus port is going to send the data to the gauges. So I just have to run my wiring along this pillar here, run the wiring down, get it up underneath the dash and across in order to get it working fine. But good thing is the air conditioner blows super cold still. Every time I do this, I'm afraid that I damaged something. It blows super cold, works great. It's wonderful. So I am very much looking forward to getting this back on the road. There's no doubt. And I'm nervous too. I mean, it may run at idle just fine sitting here and run at idle all day long, but when you rev up the RPMs, things like power steering, pressure goes up. Water pump, pressure goes up. Transmission, pressure goes up. So what can then fail? Let's say that I'm running at 3 or 4,000 RPM. What's going to fail at that point? Things that I look at real close, like that little bit of sliver that's coming off of this belt right here. That kind of stuff freaks me out. I mean, it honestly does, because I think, oh no, I'm shredding my belt, even though the belt it's about 5 years old now. I think that's when I actually put it in. It's a good belt, but I in the life of the vehicle since 2012, I only put 30,000 miles on this. 30,000 miles is what I've put on this car in over 8 years. Because, yeah, over 8 years. 30,000 miles. So I haven't really had a chance to drive it all that much, as sad as that sounds. I just haven't. Um, so it got most of its miles when it was owned by the previous owner in the first 4 years. So, anyways, guys, I'm going to head back inside. I'm getting tired. So, just wanted to give you an update. Everything is good so far. I was able to fix the power steering so far. The water pump so far. That old water pump that's sitting right down there, that's obviously bad, but I got a new one in there. It just needs a tune, so we'll keep plugging along at it, and hopefully within the next couple of days, James will get me the tuner. And seems like a pretty knowledgeable guy when it comes to doing this stuff, so he's gonna tune me right. I don't want something super aggressive. I don't want something on the cutting edge. I just want it tuned right and reliable, and a little extra pep in the step. So, all right, guys. Looking forward to getting this on the road, as I'm sure you are, and going back to my take a drive with me videos. I really do miss doing that. I got an updated camera gear too, so I'm looking forward to letting that shine as well. So, all of you have a good night, stay safe, and take care.